Hi, I'm Jarrad Brown, Australian expat financial planner based here in Singapore. Welcome to my video series where we tackle the tough personal finance questions asked by Australian expats. What we're finding a lot of lately is that many Australian expats are saving a lot more money this year because we're not able to travel. We can't go on that European ski holiday, we can't go out with large groups of our mates, we can't go to the annual balls. There's just less and less ways for us to spend money. So what we're looking at today is what should I do with these additional savings? Where should I put them? So let's get into it. We found that surveys in most countries have revealed that people are saving more money, whether it's in the form of job support payments, business support payments, mortgage repayment deferrals. Savings are going up. The US, UK, surveys across Europe, and most importantly for many of us in Australia, savings are reported to have increased by 5 to 15%. And what we're finding is that about 2/3 of people are saving more money than they did last year. So let's start exploring some of the options for when it comes to where do we actually put these savings. The first consideration when it comes to where to put your additional savings is to pay down your bad debts. Now, when I say bad debts, I'm not talking about mortgages or investment property loans. I'm talking about credit cards, store cards, money that you might owe, certain institutions, personal loans, whatever it may be that has a high interest rate. If you've got a credit card that has a 20, 25, 30% interest rate, get rid of it. Or at least make sure the balance is repaid regularly, because this is a very high hurdle rate and chances are you're not going to beat that return by investing in the markets. So make sure that you're getting rid of your bad debts. The second option and consideration is to invest in yourself. Now, I'm a huge personal believer in this one. Whether it's going to university, completing a diploma, completing an online course, there are that many options and no excuses these days for not upskilling yourself. If you're finding that you've got more time this year because you're traveling less, working less, or just finding that you can manage your time a bit better throughout 2020, then use the time to upskill yourself. You may find that you're able to generate additional revenue streams, create a small business on the side, or create something for your family to work on together. Whatever it may be, use the time wisely. The third option and consideration is contributing back home to your Australian superannuation fund. Now, there may be tax benefits, there may be tax consequences for doing so, so please make sure that you speak to your accountant or your financial planner and work out whether contributing to your super makes sense or not. But if you are saving additional money, this can be a great opportunity to top up your retirement savings, particularly with markets trading at lower levels relative to where they were last year, broadly speaking. The fourth option and consideration is to boost your emergency fund. Now, if 2020 has showed us anything, it's make sure that we've got cash on hand that's accessible quickly. We might have been stuck in different countries, forking out for hotel bills, getting hit with tens of thousands of dollars of flight expenses just to relocate our family. Or we may have found that we've lost our job, had our hours reduced, or had a business suffer or even collapse. Make sure that you're using these additional savings to at least ensure your emergency fund has 3 to 6 months of expenses covered inside it. We'll include a link in the show notes of what you should do with your emergency fund and where you might want to put it, but make sure that you're using the opportunity to ensure that it's topped up. The fifth and final consideration that we're going to talk about today is you can also use your additional savings to invest in the markets. Now, when I say the markets, that could include property, bonds, shares, mark-to-market assets that can generate growth for you in the long run that are aligned to your financial objectives and goals. If you've got cash, you pay down your bad debts, you make sure that you've got your emergency savings, start building up your investments in other asset classes. This can be a great opportunity, but most importantly, speak to a financial planner, speak to your accountant, make sure it's structured appropriately, and make sure that you're taking a level of risk that you're comfortable with. If you can't handle volatility and you're not comfortable with markets and investments going up and down on a daily basis, then don't go anywhere near the markets. But make sure that you're investing appropriately. I hope you found these 5 tips helpful. We've kept them short, we've kept them punchy, hopefully. But as I said, I hope you found that there's something useful in it for yourself. If you are saving more money, make sure that you're making the most of it. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have anything to add or you have any questions that we haven't yet covered, fire them through. We'd love to hear from you, and maybe we can even turn them into a future video. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time.